Go ahead.
Okay. So don't worry about the expenses. I'm gonna take care of that. The deposit list does start in the second page. And like, for example, right here, what it says, like right here, the system's trying to make a match, right? Because it thinks that these are like matches. But once you read the bank detail at the bottom, you'll see that it says like reverse Zelle. All of these are reverse Zelle that I have to add on to like the bank deposits. So don't worry about those. Help me out with the ones that are ATM deposits or that you can match. For example, this one for stored freight, if you go at the bottom, it says stored freight, and we can match a payment for stored freight at 922 with the correct amount. You see both here? So because everything matches, the bank detail matches, the payment that it's trying to match it to matches, then you can match. Boom, match, done. And you'll see that the system will try to match. Just make sure that you check that it actually does match. Same here, Olymp Corp ACH payment on 11/16/2022, $13.70. We inputted a payment the day before, $13.70. Yes, the dates don't match, but it's very close. Sometimes it could be a week. Sometimes it could be that the amounts match, but the date might just be a little off, which is fine. And then you would go ahead and match that because the payment is correct. The dates are very similar, the amount and the person who paid us. Boom, match. Okay, the difficult part gets when we do ATM deposits, which that means that dad got a bunch of checks, deposit them, and then we get a big chunk of amount that we have to look for. For example, let's do this ATM deposit, right? For 44,338, sorry. So I'm gonna do is we're gonna go to Wells Fargo. We're gonna sign on. And we're gonna go to the actual account. And you're gonna search up the deposit. And you know how to do that already. Now, this one was deposited on October 14, 2022. Just to be safe, I always put last 12 months. If it's been more than a year, that means a year from now would be March 2022, right? So if it's been more than March 2022, like February or January 2022, then you have to click obviously the option of 18 months. But this was in October, just a few months ago. So what you do is you put last 12 months, you put amount, and I just copy and paste the amount. That way just easier on me. Command C, I go back, and then I search it. When I search it, I get what I'm looking for in terms of date, amount, and then where it says view details, that's where you click and you get all the checks that dad deposited. And if you click the little check with the little magnifying glass, you get the actual check, right? So then what we do is we go back to the QuickBooks, we put find match, and then it takes us to this page. It's very important that you put the dates of from to to. Sometimes it could be that the reason why you won't find a check is simply because it doesn't have the right date when we input it. So let's say like I input a check today from last year. Like for example, I've been inputting these, but the date on here is October 2022. But if I didn't see that I put the date from today, then I might not find it, right? So sometimes just to be safe, I play around with the dates. But if anything, you can always start from, I did this wrong, from the beginning of the year until the end of the year. Okay, oops. Right, and then you can actually search up the check number on top, 007161. 007161, and there it is. We do 19,729. We do, you see it here. Oops, I can't zoom in, but you see it here. We do 19,729.80, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add it. Oops, and then you start seeing the amount start to decrease, right? We went from the total 44 to 24,608. So obviously we're not done. We have to go ahead and go back. Oops. We have to go ahead and go back and then start going through the rest of the checks and try to find them. This was Chase, our safe, which I told you yesterday, that's Seco. So this one's kind of hard to see. So I'm gonna just copy and paste it from here. And there it is, our safe 5605. Sorry, 5605 matches. Always make sure that everything matches. God, why do I keep going over there? And I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Since all the checks should be added already, there's no way why we shouldn't try to find one. So play detective. If it doesn't come up, change the dates. Or I'll show you another trick that you could do right now. Let's just go ahead and finish this off. Oops. What the fuck? $49.10, 22, $49.10, 22. We're almost there. $41.111. $16.50, $65. And then once everything matches, this difference comes into zero. And then everything matches and you're able to save. And that's all. That's it. So when I say play detective is because there's gonna be times where maybe the check number doesn't come up or the amount number doesn't come up. So what I would do is I would take the information I have. For example, this is a payment from Cardinal. I would go on and just play detective like I told you and search it by payment from customer. You could change it to see receipt check number and put search, and then if sometimes the bank doesn't read the numbers right and we might be off by a few cents, we might be off by a couple dollars, and the system doesn't know that the bank messed up and the bank is gonna eventually owe us $2-3 at the end. So we have it right, but the bank doesn't. So what we have to do is we have to go ahead and change. We have to click the deposit slip and change the amount to make it match with what the bank has. But if that happens to you, just call me and I'll tell you how to do it, or I'll fix it myself. But as you see, my pending stubs are almost done. I just have, I did Suntech. I just applied it to a random invoice because we're still waiting for them to send it, but I just need to close these out. I'm not gonna erase the ones that I didn't officially fix. But I do want to add the payment so at least we can move on and close out the deposit side of the taxes. Okay.